Okay, this video is to help you complete March 30th's assignment, part 2 of Personal Budget with Excel. And you might be saying, well, where's part 1? Well, I renamed the Personal Budget with Excel part 1 because today is a continuation of that one that we did 2 class periods ago, right before spring break. For period 1, it's March 18th. For period 6, you're going to see it's March 19th, and this will be March 31st. All right. So if you have not completed this, you need to do this first in order to do today's assignment. So just open this up, follow the instructions in there. There's a video and it shows you how to make this. Just a blank budget that has all the different categories, all the different expenses, typical expenses in a household. So go ahead and get that started, and for those of you, the rest of you, get this opened up and ready because you're going to need that. And then resume the video. Okay, so now I'm assuming that you've got yours open. We're going to go back to today's assignment. And we've got 3 videos. And you're going to watch. Let's open this up here. Well, right now you're watching this first video. That's this one. And then you're going to keep going and watch the others after you complete this. Alright, so budget scenario. We need to open this up. And this is where we're getting our numbers today. And I want it to do a half screen, so I'm going to drag it till it hits the edge and get the Excel file on the other half. Alright, now this seems a little bit, the font is small over here, so I'm going to hold down my control key and scroll ball in to zoom. Let's get the font a little bit bigger on this one. And let's see, so I can see it a little better. I like the margin. You know, there's a lot of wasted space right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to Layout, change my margin. You guys don't have to do this, but if I go to Custom Margins, I can take my left margin and bring it down. There we go. I don't waste any space on my screen. All right. And there we go. I want to be able to read it all. Okay. So we're going to take these numbers, pop them in over here. So scenario A, we got a married couple without kids. They have the following personal information. They're each working, but combined, they're making a total monthly household income of $6,600. So here we go. We're going to type in 6600, hit enter. You do not have to type in the commas, and if there's no dollars, there's no cents, you don't have to type in decimal and 00. You can just hit enter. The way that it's formatted, it'll always put in 2 decimals for you. And right now I don't see any extra income listed over here, so we're going to leave that blank. Now all this information does not necessarily go in order. Like for example, housing is not next. Next we've got federal income taxes. So we need to scroll down, find our taxes. There it is, federal. And now we get to start using Excel's capabilities, which is that it can act like a calculator. I'm going to type an equal sign to tell it to do a calculation. And I'm going to type in 0.15. That's because we're saying the taxes are 15%, so convert it to decimal. And then a star means multiply. And then I'm going to scroll up with my scroll ball and click on the total monthly income, so that if we were to add or change this number, this total right here will change. And then this down here will automatically update and take 15% of that total income. Now I'm going to hit enter to accept it. And there's the calculation is done for me. If you're not sure, you want to see the formula behind, you can just click once on the cell and you can see it right up here in your formula bar. Or if you double click, it goes into active mode. Just be careful when you double click. You can hit enter to get out, but if I accidentally click somewhere, it'll mess it up. Oh, I guess it didn't that time. But if I'm highlighted, so you got to be careful. I like to just hit escape if I'm already, if I was just checking it out. Okay, so state income tax. Let's do the same thing. Actually, I'm just gonna. You guys can just pause the video, do both of these, get those 2 done, and then when I resume the video, I'm going to go ahead and jump onto the tackle these 2 vehicles, all the costs, and I'll put that in right up here, transportation. All right, before I proceed with transportation, I just want to double check, make sure you got the right number. Did you get 231? If not, maybe you forgot to add the 0.35 because remember, moving the decimal 2 places. It should be 0.035 times D6. Okay, and then we get an automatic formula here that takes the total of taxes. All right, now we're going to transportation. Vehicle payments, let's take a look here. Got a new Chevy 1500, monthly loan payment of $652. Okay. Number 2, the second vehicle that this couple has, an older Ford Explorer that is paid for, so there's no loan. Okay. So we don't have to add anything. It's just going to be $652. 652. Hit enter. Okay. We don't have bus or taxi fare because we own our vehicles. So let's leave that blank. How about insurance costs? Now's where it starts to get tricky. Insurance every 6 months is $1,150. What about this one? Insurance every 6 months is $458. All right, let's remember this number, 1150. So I'm going to make a formula equals. I'm going to do the quantity of, so I'm going to use the parenthesis, open parenthesis, and type in the 1150. That's from the first vehicle. And I'm going to add the insurance for the second vehicle, which is $458. 458. Close my parenthesis. Now the reason I did that was I want to divide this because I want monthly costs. So I'm going to use the divide symbol. It's the /. And how many months? That's for a total of 6 months. So I'm going to put a 6 in here. And now here's our total cost per month on insurance for both cars. $268. So I'll double click that just for a second. If you want to pause the video, look at my formula, do so. Okay. Next thing we're going to look at here is, let's see, this is oil change every 3 months. Okay, down here, the oil change every 3 months. Let's see, new tires every 4 years. So we want to get all of these calculations based on monthly cost. So we've got to do some more calculations here. All right. Do we have oil change, or do we have tires listed as categories? No, we do not. So I guess we could do that underneath maintenance. We could do that right there. So oil change, tires, those are the next items on the list. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same formula I did here. I'm going to type in equals, open parenthesis, and it looks like oil change is $59. Yeah, 59 plus this one's 45. And now how many months is that? That is for 3 months. So let's divide it by 3. Hit enter. Okay, so now we've got the monthly maintenance for oil change. Other, I think I'm going to double click on this other, and I'm going to put in tires. And then we can do that one right here. Alright, so this one's every 4 years, but we're going to go with $800 for tires for this vehicle. The new tires for this vehicle costs $680. Alright, so watch what I do. I'm just going to bring this guy down, copy this formula. Okay, double click on it, and I'm just going to swap out the numbers that I want. So the first number was 800 for the tires for the first vehicle, and the second one was 680. Now, is it for 3 months? No, it's for 4 years. Okay, so how many months is 4 years? 4 times 12 is 48. So I'm going to put in 48 months. And it looks like the tires are costing us on average about $30 a month. Alright, so now that we've got those two knocked out, let's get the next item that's listed up here. Annual gas, $1,800, and annual gas for this one is $1,400. So fuel. Let's go ahead and do that again and use that little plus symbol. You can either do that, or you just click on it, do a Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste. And then we're going to change this out because this one says for annual it's going to be 12 months. and it's going to be, let's see, I just read it, but I can't remember the fuel cost. Okay, 1,800 and 1,400. 18 plus 14 divided by 12. There we go. All right, we're getting there. Let's see here. Oh no, I used up the miscellaneous. That should have been other, right? Maintenance. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do a left mouse click on this line right here. Left mouse so that it highlights the entire line all the way across the workbook. You can't just click here. You got to click on the number over here. Anywhere you want in here. Then I do a right mouse click on it, and I'm going to insert. And so now I'm going to say MISC for miscellaneous costs. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and drag, let's see, this one's annual, right? It's divided by 12, so I'm going to copy it, Control C, bring it down to here, Control V, and then update the numbers for the miscellaneous costs. And in this case, it's 400 plus for the second vehicle, 900. That's because that's an older vehicle. Okay, now we're looking good. We've got one more left, and that's the license plate. For every year, it's 450 for this car, 150 for this car. Again, licensing is divided by 12. So I like this formula. I'm going to use this one. Copy, paste, Control V, double click on it, and put in the licensing. 450 plus 150. Alright, divided by 12. Looking good. Whew, vehicles sure are expensive to drive. Look at that. $1,410 every month just for the vehicles, these two vehicles. Alright, now that we're done with that, we're going to keep going now. I'm not going to show all of these in the video, but I'll do a couple more. Let's see here. What are going to be the tough ones here? Well, let's keep going. I'll finish down up through this one, up through the housing expenses, and then let you guys put in the rest. I'll pause the video and then I'll show you when I'm finished. Okay, so let's do one for the pet. Let's get this one done. Where's the pet? There it is. Pet food. $45 a month for the food. It's already calculated. And then $200 a year for medical. That would be vet visits. So we're just going to go equals 200 divided by 12 months. Okay, so it's about 16 bucks a month, and 200 a year for grooming. So I'm just going to copy this guy down. Okay, and then if I hit escape, it gets rid of this copy. Right now, the reason it has this green dotted line, I could just keep hitting Control V, Control V. Watch, I'll do it. Control V, Control V, and it just keeps pasting the same thing. It means it's still turned on. So I'm going to Control Z that, turn that one off, turn that one off. And then if I just hit escape, it stops that. There, I'll hit escape, upper left corner of my keyboard. And that turns off the copy function. Okay, now we are on living in a house. Let's go to our housing costs. There we go. Two bedroom, 2-bath house. Monthly payments are $1,600. That includes property tax and home insurance. Okay, so we'll just put $1,600. And let's see, garbage 20, utilities. Okay, where's the garbage? I don't see a garbage over here. So here's what I'm going to do. Gas, electric, water, and wastewater are all combined for 220 bucks. So okay, so I see electric here, gas, water, wastewater. So I'm just going to double click here, put a slash, and say gas slash water and wastewater. Okay, and I think, oops, I lost my place. There we are. Okay, so that's 220 for all of those items. And now I'm going to just rename one of these to be garbage, which would be trash. So I'm just going to type in trash here, and we're paying $20 a month for our trash service. And now that we've got water and sewer, we don't need that one. I'm going to do a right mouse click on that entire row, delete it. If you so anyway, I'm just getting rid of that row. What else do we have? Phone, $30. That's for the landline. Some people wouldn't have that because they just use their cell phones. What else do we have here? Cable internet connection, $120. And then Netflix is $11. I recall seeing Netflix in a different category. I believe it's in our entertainment category. There it is. Alright, so I'm going to put 11. I think it's more expensive than that. Back when I made this assignment, it was cheaper. Anyway, alright, now that we got that taken care of, what I want you guys to do is do the rest of these. Find the spot, the category that they go in, and do what I've been doing. So, for example, if it says annual, if it ever says annual, that means per year, then you've got to divide it by 12. Most of these say month, so these you're just going to be typing the numbers in. Health insurance, $650 a month, $500, $450 per month. Okay, that's all month. So actually, these are going to be easy. That's per month. 6 months. Okay, so this one, clothing purchase, that needs to be divided by 6. All right, so you're going to start right here and fill in and do the rest. I'm going to pause my video and I'm going to put those in myself. Okay, I've just updated my sheet with the rest of these. Now, there's one thing real quick. The cell phone plan did not have its own category, so I combined it in the monthly housing expenses with the landline. The landline was $30 up here, it said somewhere. And then, yeah, right there, 30. And so I just put 230. I combined the two for phone expense. If you chose to add a new category somewhere, that's fine. No worries. Just check your totals real quick. Okay, make sure your subtotal for housing is $21.90. Or if you put the cell phone somewhere else, it might be a little less than that. It might be $200 less. My food is $950 a month. Transportation, $1410.50. Insurance, $650. Taxes, $1221. $660 for the retirement investments. Pets, $78.33. Personal care, $250. Gifts and donations, $350. And entertainment subtotals, $131.83. All right, now, total monthly expenses. Let's take a look what's going on here. $7,891 a month in expenses. Money going out the door. However, we only have $6,600 coming in the door. Income. So I'm going to drag this here. So remember, in Excel, when you see a parenthesis around a number, and this is true in anywhere you see numbers that have a parenthesis, you are to assume that that's a negative number, because 7,000 is more than 6,000. So we're spending more than what we're taking in. Therefore, maybe they're using credit cards and they're negative. So here's what we're going to assume. We're going to assume that these people have paid you. You are assuming that you are a financial analyst, or you're someone, a financial planner. You're helping these people out. They sit down with you and they bring all this information. You ask them all these questions while they're sitting there with you, and they just give you ballpark estimates. You fill in your spreadsheet, your fancy spreadsheet for them, and now you're going to consult with them, and you're going to say, let's see, what can we do to make sure that this number is not negative? Let's try to balance this budget. Get you guys on good standing so that you're not using credit card debt. You're not going into debt every month further and further. We want to get you out of debt. So what I want you guys to do in the next video, actually it's going to be in the third video that I'm going to have you guys give advice, and I'll get you started. 3 pieces of advice, and I'll have you guys type that up in a text box over here. But this is all for this video. For this video, first one, you just need to get these numbers, match my numbers, and then you're going to go on to the next video, and I'm going to show you how to make a graph, a fancy graph, to show your customers a little pie chart where all of their expenses are. All right.